What's up everyone, Tom here with another video. In today's video, I'll be covering everything to do with the stock market, including our technical analysis levels together for the S&P 500, Nasdaq, Tesla, Bitcoin, and more. There's a lot going on in the stock market right now, and there's a few keys, especially Apple and Tesla, that I think are worthwhile looking at. Stay tuned. So as we like to do on this channel, let's take a look at the heat map together. Hopefully you guys are still enjoying that intro. I certainly am. I always find it funny every single time. Apple, Nvidia, even Tesla yesterday, there were some interesting movements there. Some of the tech stocks started taking a bit of a dive. PayPal down 2.49, Apple down 1.76, breaking a key trend line level we'll talk about soon. Tesla 0.24 up, but actually was down around 2%. And through strong buying momentum got it back up. It's doing what we call a test of the previous support from the bottom up. So it's actually at a critical resistance right now. And today I think is going to show us a lot about what happens with the market. It's going to be a very important point. When we look at the actual indices, we can see here Dow, SPX flat-ish, Nasdaq down. So technology is where the sell-off is right now. Energy also coming up. So with financials, they're both the really strong sector, and then technology lagging the rest of them. So that trend I would expect to continue. Some of the things that happened yesterday, Shopify is a word of caution in the future. We saw a big breakout of previous resistance before the earnings report. Preempting the earnings report was going to be absolutely amazing. Now, it was a great earnings report. If you've read it, it's amazing. At the same time though, the valuation doesn't make sense to the current price action, the current movement. Roku was another one that had broken out there, and at the same time that pulled back because of course concerns over, yes, it might have a great result, but the result may not justify the current valuation. Let's have a look at what's happening on the Apple stock. So it breaks below a special uptrend line that's been working for quite some time. And this is after some of the largest shareholders disclose share sales. The trend line goes all the way through these points here from the COVID lows. And you'll also notice there was another trend line we had drawn, which was a bit more aggressive. So both of these areas being broken, a little bit negative towards Apple right now. Warren Buffett, Vanguard, all dumping portions of their shares. Not all, we don't have to panic, but they are selling some of them. The IRS also said it's done with sending stimulus checks for now. And of course, Biden has also said that they're not going to cancel student debt. And I think there is some things here. If people thought there was going to be a cancellation of student debt, we'd all feel a bit richer, especially the students, and that would mean possibly more money going into these levels. Like things where people might be holding 10,000 to pay it off, all of a sudden they wouldn't be. So that's changed. So let's have a look at put call ratios. What's going on there? 1.8 is the reading here, guys. Not too much to read into this. It's why I haven't been going through it. But overall, it is a little bit lower than it has been recently. And that could mean a decent amount of calls are being opened. VIX continues to maintain above the 20. It spiked yesterday into 23.4. I'm sure a few of you were happy about that. Then, of course, immediately went back down. It's now sitting on that 21.5. Remember, the 21 has been a good level for it to spike off as well. So as it consolidates through here and we start to see price action and some of the warning signs that we're looking for in the markets, we may see even further spikes in the VIX. Definitely be watching that one. Dollar index is one of the keys. A big gap yesterday, followed by bullish momentum, hit the 91 resistance, sold off a little bit. It's in the zone of structure. So we're in that 90.8, 91 area. The dollar index can do literally anything right now, but it's shown a lot of strength. It gets above yesterday's kind of top here. I'm thinking towards 91.50. If it gets above 91.50, for sure the market will be coming down technically. That this dollar index strength shows risk off sentiment in the markets, and dollar has not been showing any kind of structure for some time now. So it's a big deal. Bitcoin also flying high. We're now sitting at 52,000 at the time of this recording. Go down to the 4 hour here. It's remained, remember, a good buy area. So if we see Bitcoin fall off a little bit. Where's the 20 right now? Right around that 50,000. Do we think that would act as some form of support? Well, it has done so before. So the 20 exponential moving average on the 4 hour is something I'm definitely keenly looking at over the next couple of days. Silver also showing strength, even though the dollar index is strengthening overall. This has been very surprising. There's clearly something going on here with silver. Silver is stronger than gold just in general. It's because it's more of a used metal, so I think there is a bit more demand for it. I'll maintain that kind of 2780 area until it breaks above there. I'm not too interested in it, but it is holding a little bit of an uptrend. Yesterday's candle was bullish. Dollar index is going to be the key to whether this thing can hold up, but when it gets above 2780, I think it could be explosive, and it's worthwhile watching that one. Gold, we're on the 1 hour here, 20 exponential moving average continuing to add resistance pressures here. We got down all the way to these lows. We know about 1765. We have the previous support over here quite a few months ago. If we continue to see the sell-off, 1740, 1700 could be on. This trend is pretty much intact for now, and the 20 exponential moving average on the 1 hour seems to be acting as the resistance point. On to some of the stocks. Tesla. Let's go down into the 1 day just to start with. So 50 exponential moving average on the daily being reached here. It hasn't been reached in so long for Tesla. That's been an interesting one. But what I want to focus more on is the structure and the formation. So we'll go down to the 2 hour here and talk about this structure and formation. We'd seen bounces off the 800. So the 800 was clearly an amazing buy area for a lot of people. It had bought off previously, gone right up to the structure 888 and then come back down. I like this area, and now that we broke below it on a significant time frame, it's pretty big. We're also testing it, and we'll probably be testing this during our live run tonight, right around 800 coming into the market open. So we've got the 20 exponential moving average on the 2 hour here. We've got the previous support acting as resistance. It's crunch time for Tesla, and this is similar to Apple. Apple's through the trend line. Tesla is technically through the support, but it's now testing it as resistance. So if this is going to hold, we'll see some type of like little 5-minute, 15-minute lightning bolt, as we call them, and potentially further selling pressure down to the 700 or even 650 market structure. A very critical point here for Tesla in the markets. SPX, the trend line continues to hold. We do have even a new little weird trend line here on the 15-minute. I know 15 minutes, we're getting desperate when we're going down to these time frames, but as you would know, these things do tend to hold up. We know there's critical points. We know the 3900 was critical. Right now, at the time of this recording, the US 500 is trading at pretty much exactly the same as this, 39.31. So do we have more selling pressure? It's come back, nice recovery here, pretty much where it was the day before, fairly flat. If we move down, do we continue to hold this weird 15-minute trend line, or do we break through? We break through, we expose 3860, which is the previous high resistance. And that's what I'll be looking at on the SPX over the next day. US 500, here's the little bit of a sell-off. 2 wicks came through, which would have been good for day traders to take it into the close. I do see why it bought up. There was heavy buying pressure each time it dipped into this zone. I tend to think it's probably false because of the moves on gold, precursoring the market. Same with silver and dollar index. So I wouldn't be surprised at all to see another red day on the markets today, but time will tell. And all we're looking at is that little trend line on the bottom and then a further pullback down to the 3860, where I think you'll see either true bull power or bear power at that point. That will also coincide very closely with the daily 20 that we've seen hit multiple times, taking out a daily bullish hammer as well. All of these things, if it went bearish, is super critical. And this is really close to the 4,000. So there's just so many reasons why it could go bearish. The bullish case is it wants to go and touch the 4,000 first before selling off and continuously grind higher. The bearish case is really the trend line, the dollar index doing strange things, silver, gold, precursoring moves, all the VIX, etc., all at the right zones at the right time. Good luck with the analysis on this one. Let's have a look now at the Nasdaq. What's going on here? This is the 2 hour. You'll notice during the futures, it's showing more weakness than the S&P 500. S&P 500, 39.31. Nasdaq, 13,674. Engulfing candle potentially here to the downside on this time frame. We might see further selling pressure. If we do back down to the 13.6, no closure happened underneath the 36 yet. So a closure candle underneath there will signal further selling. And then I think at that point, you're talking about 13.4, previous resistances, previous support. So it could actually drop fairly quickly, 200 points there on the Nasdaq. This will be most likely the weaker index for February, and it's definitely one to watch. All right, guys, well, that brings me to the end. A little bit of a shorter one today. We will be doing a live stream tonight, 10:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Come and join us. Have some fun with the community. Discuss some shares, discuss stocks, discuss commodities, currencies, whatever else you want to. And, of course, we'll be looking at it all from a technical and fundamental perspective. Speak to you soon, guys. Bye for now.